to a parliamentary government. He talked about his belief in Nigeria. He talked about some other things. Of course, he reacted to the Supreme Court judgment, and he was not satisfied. He's not satisfied. However, he respects the judgment and he will abide by law and order. We will talk about this maybe tomorrow, maybe in the coming days. I do not know. But I wish the press briefing was earlier. It would have made it to our big stories for today, because I do not have all the details. I have not yet studied the speech or the statement, and so we cannot talk about it. But I just, thought it wise to mention it in the course of our conversation. So we're starting with the big stories making the round, and a couple of stories. Today is not as heavy in terms of news content as it was last week Monday. By this time last week Monday, everybody was running helter skelter, looking to interview one person or the other, because the state was bubbling, so to say. However, we've got some good news, some few good news. For instance, police changes Governor Fubara's chief security officer as Imo State Commissioner of Police redeployed. Remember, you can watch me live on Facebook or watch me live on YouTube, or you can interact with me on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for the three platforms are the same, Nigeria Info PH, and the headlines are there already. You can go look at it and drop your comments therein. So police changes Governor Fubara's chief security officer as Imo State Commissioner of Police redeployed to force headquarters Abuja. All right. So the story I seen in our bulletin, in-house bulletin, it says that the Nigeria Police Force has deployed Promise Wosu as the new commander of Special Protection Unit, codenamed Base 6 in Rivers State. In a signal from Police Force Headquarters Abuja, Wosu was deployed to head the special unit a few days after he was removed as the chief security officer to Governor Fubara amidst impeachment notice served on the governor by the Rivers State House of Assembly. In the signal by the Police Force Secretary and Assistant Inspector General of Police Olarewaju Yomi Olademiji also confirmed the posting of the senior officers to the various tactical units. Now, the SPU, which Wosu now heads in Rivers, was established in 2009 to fortify security around VIPs and diplomats. As you may know, Promise Wosu was a former chief security officer to former Rivers State Governor and current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, yes, Mike. Other key security officers affected by the sudden change are two older former aides of the FCT Minister who were also deployed to head the counter-terrorism unit and Operation Sting. They include Iri Kefe London Owen, a former camp commandant of Rivers Government House, and Emmanuel Wakama. Operation Sting was a special state security outfit launched by the former Governor Wike in 2019. So that's the current situation. If you're reflecting to the drama and that transpired last week, that happened last week, everybody was talking about it. You must know about it. So, yeah. So that's the latest development. The CSO has now been moved to another police unit. We're told last week, by certain reports that was flying around at the time, that the governor had sacked the chief security officer. However, we saw a rebuttal, or would I say a refutal, and it was that there's nothing like that. We did not sack any prominent aide of the governor. We did not sack anybody, surrounding the governor. All of that was false report. That's from the Ministry of Information. But this is what it is. But in Imo State, the drama that started last week also has lingered into the new week. Last week, we were told by reports that Joe Ajero, NLC president, was beaten to a pulp, by certain people, and accusing fingers were pointed to the police in Imo State. However, the police came out and said no, they were only trying to defend him. That he was, anti-protesters, they were protesting, and then anti-protesters, came into the scene, and there was some kind of fracas, and he was beaten to a pulp, and the police stepped in. Oh, But then Opuzodinma, the governor of Imo State, said that Joe Ajaero was playing politics instead of unionism. And we also got to understand that, being the fact that Joe Ajaero is from Imo State, there are those accusations that he may be supporting the Labour Party candidate Achonu. And over the weekend, we were told that the Labour Party governorship candidate was attacked. He was stopped from entering into a church where Opuzodinma was in, and I hear, according to the reports I've read, that he was invited just like the governor was invited. However, the police did say, and they have said there was no attack, just like they said with Joe Ajaero, but they're saying, hey, this situation is against the law. We can't have two contestants in one place, in the same space, during a campaign activity. So we would not be able to allow him get into the church, and he would have to go back and come back another time. And he made the news that he was attacked. So we don't know who's telling the true story, but I think this was the major reason why the Imo State Commissioner of Police was then redeployed, because allegations of partisanship worsened or heightened, and the Inspector General decided to redeploy him to the force headquarters, which is sited in Abuja. So that's the situation. That's the first big story. It took a lot of our time. Well, let's see what the next one has got for us, if it will also take much of our time. Let's see now. Rivers among states in UK-US travel advisory. So over the weekend, travel advisories were flying. In parts of the media, we could see certain publications about the UK and the US advisory, while the US advisory did not particularly call out locations in Nigeria that are not safe for their citizens to travel to. The UK did call out, locations, and Rivers State, is amongst the states that the UK has advised their citizens not to travel to, or if they travel, they should be very security conscious or wary of criminal elements. You and I live in Rivers State, and I don't know if that report is accurate, so to say, or that travel advisory is as accurate as written in the advisory, or as the details written in the advisory. I know Bolt, or would I say e-taxi drivers, have been, attacked in recent times. We've seen them being shot at. We've seen their cars being stolen and all of that. We've seen younger ladies being attacked. Yeah, we have. We've seen some of them, or one of them, being killed. We've seen some being kidnapped. Of course, you and I talked about the one who escaped last week. We talked about that, I think on Monday or thereabout. So when you think about it, I wonder if Rivers State is as unsafe as described by the travel advisories. And that's why I want to throw that question to you. What do you make of this? Did you think, it brings us back to earlier conversations about reports from international organizations, for instance, the BBC on Tinubu's certification, or was it the CNN on NSAS, or was it even the EU on the 2023 elections? It brings us back to all of these conversations, and then the first thing that comes to my mind is, do these institutions, these international institutions, actually have a good knowledge of what really is happening, or is it all hearsay? Yeah? Because I'm in Rivers State, and I do agree, just like in every other place, that there are insecurities, there are, troubles here and there, because man will be man and human being will be human being, right? So that's why we have the law, because we know that we will falter along the way. But saying, I don't know, I want you to tell me, are we really that unsafe as a state, for travelers to come into? And I know it's just a warning, it's just an advisory. It's not like don't go there, but be careful if you go there. We would like it if you don't travel if you can, but if you go there, be careful. I understand that part, but I'm wondering and I'm asking, are we that? Are we really in that situation? That's the question. Are we really in that situation? But let's get to my final big story, and it's such a big story. I do not know if there is a new development to the story, because the last time I checked, the story was still a good news. And I realized that every now and then recently, the news that have been making it to the headlines have been, stories that are not so good, they can increase the blood pressure of a Nigerian. Those are the kind of news that we have been, looking at and, getting to see in recent times. However, I do feel like there's a good news. It broke yesterday, talking about the Naira. The Naira has been, regaining itself. It's been having some strength, reinvigorated. It's been, gaining against the dollar. As at yesterday, there were talks about, the Naira gaining in the black market. As at today, there are talks about the Naira gaining both at the official window and at the black market or the parallel market window. And it's such a good news, and I hope that this continues. I hear that Dangote may have had some kind of influence as he was able to repatriate over $600 million back to the country from his businesses around Africa, and he did that through some of the domestic banks. So some of the domestic banks now have in their possession, quite a good amount of dollars. Also last week, we also had some kind of intervention from the federal government in terms of dollar supply to the banks, I think by the CBN, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're offsetting some of their dollar obligations, like to airlines and the likes. So the Naira seems to be gaining some kind of weight, and I do hope it continues to gain. But I'll talk about this some more after the break. Do stay tuned.
Going on a vacation or a business trip? Catching a flight to see family? Or taking a break in Zanzibar? Wherever you're going and
And now, hard facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Yes, indeed, hard facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakurubatibo, 26 minutes gone past the hour, and it is such a lovely conversation. You know how we do it. Yes, it's hard facts, but we tend to interact, we tend to discuss, we talk for development, and I'm excited to be in the studio. All right, so that being said, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, or to hear from you. I'm going to open the phone lines in a bit, but I was talking about the Naira regaining some strength against foreign currencies, and according to report early this morning, the Naira seems to be doing very well against the dollar. The Naira is somewhere around the region of 980, 990, 1,000, 20, 70, thereabout. Sometime last week, the Naira was going against the dollar at the black market, of course, at somewhere around the region of 1,200. We're getting the Naira against the dollar at 1,115 Naira, thereabout. But now it's somewhere around the region of 1,070 or 970 Naira. And hopefully it will, continue to go down, because if it continues to go down as an import-based nation, it will affect the prices of goods and services, including one of the most important ones, which is fuel. I'm talking about diesel and I'm talking about petrol. So it's going to really affect this and maybe the cost of living will also come down. But I also want to talk about the fact that Dangote was able to think in the direction he has thought, and he did say he's a believer. He said he's a believer in the country, and he will continue to bring out ideas that will improve the situation in the country. And what has he done? He has repatriated, just like we see the airlines repatriate their funds back to their countries, just like we see some foreign investments repatriate funds back to the country. Dangote has repatriated funds back to Nigeria, and that somehow has boosted, I'm not saying it's the only factor, but it has somehow boosted the currency called the Naira. So I'm looking forward to more Nigerians being patriotic, and maybe even you in your own little corner, being patriotic and ensuring that we all work together for the development. And usually when I bring up conversations like this and I say, let us, play our own part, some of you say, what can we do? Maybe we can borrow a leaf from Dangote. But let's open the phone lines now. Let's get your thoughts and your ideas on the issues that I've reeled out. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number WhatsApp number for WhatsApp messages 0809-030-6416. It's so lovely to have you call in. I like to get your thoughts and I like to see your messages. Remember, you could also drop your comments in the comment section on Facebook and on YouTube and even on X. Nigeria Info PH is the handle. All right, I've got Clinton, and Clinton is calling from Bori. Hello, Clinton. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind, please? Tell me.
Kalada, good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon to you. Welcome on the show.
Thank you. Let me start with police deploying the CSO of the governor.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Following what happened, the events of weeks ago. I commend the police. But the problem is redeploying them and keeping them still in Rivers State. The tension have not been doused, and you are still keeping them in Rivers. What about redeploying them away from Rivers State?
They said special units. So one is in charge of securing VIPs, like ambassadors, rich men, businessmen. The other is Operation Sting, which is involved in going around and making sure our streets are safe. So, do you think that will affect governance in River State?
Policemen, they were loyal to the former governor.
Okay.
And we saw what happened during the SARS era, where one policeman was used to perpetuate political mayhem on the people in River State. So I think what they should have done is to redeploy these people out of River State for some years, and not making them to head tactical units in the same state that they have contributed to permitting the crisis that is happening in River State now. Then on the dollar gaining, Naira gaining rather, Kalada, how sustainable is this gains against the dollar? Is it we pumping in dollars every now and then sustain the exchange rate? Because Nigeria will be known to be importing. What are we producing? What are we exporting out of the country? I think it's just for the time being. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Zion from GRA. Zion, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind, please?
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
On this aspect of the dollar, to me, just the window dressing.
Okay.
Because the demand for the dollar is high. Average grade level 15 in Nigerian civil servants is children schools abroad. How does he fund them? Is it not through the dollars? And this is the area where the ICPC is not working. The EFCC is not working. There are too many Nigerians with dollars in their houses, in their coffers.
I think Zion, the Senate passed a bill yesterday, or rather on Friday, talking about it's illegal to use foreign currencies in Nigeria. So maybe
the PDP and APC primaries in Abuja, who share the dollars? There are people who from Bayelsa, they came back from the PDP primaries. They were sharing dollars in Bayelsa. Who gave them the money? It's not the politicians.
Okay.
For this issue of the report from America Travel Advisory, I think it's politically motivated. And I'm so ashamed that the American and intelligent country can play into the hands of such feud between a father and a son, according to the government.
No, but it's not just Rivers State that is there. I said Rivers is amongst. I did not say it's the only one. Rivers is amongst Imo, Kogi, all of that.
America, the crime rate in America, the shooting, the stabbings, and the rest of them, can it be compared to the one here in Port Harcourt?
All right.
My problem is our political leaders. They are so lazy.
All right.
They cannot raise up a standard that can fuel or diffuse the atom or the information from America and UK.
All right.
Because they have businesses there. So
I've got to go, Zion. I'm sorry. I've got to go. Thank you very much. I've got Gift from Yanagua. Gift, greetings to you. It's good to hear from you. Welcome on the show.
Thank you, my brother. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good
Man
afternoon.
of the people, Canada himself. God bless you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Let me contribute like this. Two quick issues concerning the redeployment of the PS2. If you recall earlier, it was reported that the governor, immediately that incident took place, he decided to let go of the PS2.
Yeah.
That was the rumor then, if you recall.
Yeah.
So if today the police have decided to redeploy him in a particular, unit to add, I think 3 of them, because I read that piece.
About four of them. But go ahead.
There are 3 in number now.
Something like that. Just go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, 3 in number. Strategic positions. Do you know what this they captured it? They said this one is like they are preparing for the onslaught on how to remove steam from office. And I laugh. Allow police to do their work.
So they have 4. They have 4 of them. So I think 4 of them.
That was what this day was reporting, that they are preparing the ground on how to remove steam from office. And I was laughing. Allow the police to do their work. These are the kind of reports. Some are now saying welcome development for removing. If you know what that CS2, the role he played before Sim became a governor, he seemed not a part of Wike family.
So what role did he play? He's supposed to be a police.
From a different place.
He's supposed to be a police.
National Assembly members. You talk about local government chairman, the governor himself. These were the people that were insulting both Sim and Wike. Today now they are taking sides. I will not take sides as far as I'm concerned in this matter. My prayer to God, just like King Ateke Tom, nobody should paint it with ethnicity. It is father and son. The man have told anyone who cares to go back to the records when he was saying he does not want to know anything that people are saying. Is a boy, is a son to Wiki and all the rest. Today now, elders will be jumping from one radio station to the other.
All right. Thank you very much.
Crisis entrepreneurs. That is what they are doing. They should leave the young man alone.
All right then.
And this crisis will be resolved.
All right. Thank you very much. Give from Yenegua. Elomba from Artillery. Turn off your radio. I greet you right back there. Welcome on the show. Let's talk.
This is Engineer Elomba.
All right.
I'm calling from Artillery.
All right then.
You see this deployment? This deployment pointing what future we have. Whether anybody like it or not, whether this they report it or not, except the person know they think well.
No, let's Elomba. Okay. Let's not attack anybody.
What I'm saying is this, my brother. What I'm saying is this. Where my own interest today much is actually the dollar that they say they are doing dollar. Let me tell you something. When the president take inaugural speech, he talk about exchange rate. He also talk about subsidy. Today, you can see that these 2 policies now are failure. Because they bring money last week, we use subsidize Naira so that we can change the money cheap. What type of policy did that one? If this men they no get everything they want to do, why don't they give way? Make young boys they come up and do something. How can you be using our subsidizing Naira? This is very unfortunate.
All right, then.
God bless you.
Thank you very much, Ilumba. I've got Frank from D-Line. Frank, welcome on the show. What is
good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Let me react on the redeployment of the Imo State Commissioner of Police.
Okay.
Canada, it's not all about redeploying any police commissioner. Where are they going to bring them? Are they going to bring them from heaven? They are still going to bring from Nigeria police. So that is to tell me that if they change, they will still bring another one. And who is controlling the police? So my own case is not about redeploying anyone. It's for them to do to caution them to do the right thing. Whether you bring new one, that new one can even worse than the old one. So that's my own comment.
All right,
thank
then.
you and God bless you.
All right, thank you, Frank. Let's look at some messages on the WhatsApp platform. This one says, "Good afternoon, Canada. Redeployment of the River State Government House CSO is not a welcome development. Now that peace is about to come, why deploy that innocent man who worked so gallantly under the administration of Nyesom Wike? Naira regaining its strength is a testimony that Tinubu government is very ready to deliver a renew hope agenda." Great Sylvester with that one from Ubu Mini. All right, this one says from Anonymous, "I'm still not satisfied with the transfer of the governor's chief security officer to the police tactical unit in Port Harcourt. He will still have influence on the security in the government house. They should have transferred him to another state to avoid any secret plans to compromise security matters to make the state ungovernable to the governor. Mind you, some politicians close to the federal government can be very desperate and will do anything to make government helpless, just to prove a point." From Anonymous. Okay. Greetings, Mr. Canada. Police changes Governor Fubara's chief security officer. It is a welcome development. All right, thank you, Anna. And I thank you very much for that one. This one says, "Good morning." No, it's afternoon now. Good afternoon. The changing of the chief security officer to Governor Fubara is a step in the right direction because of the alleged involvement in the political crisis that rocked the state. This changing is long overdue. Governor Fubara should extremely be careful with politicians and act as a governor. Use the executive power very well. Owanate Clinton West. I've got Befor, and Befor is calling from Port Harcourt. I hope I pronounced your name well. Welcome on the show.
Yeah, my brother Kalada.
Yeah,
I'm Chief Befor.
All right, Chief, welcome.
We have been following the political situation in this state in the past 3 weeks now.
Okay.
Yeah. We are concerned with that city.
Okay.
Yeah. We were told that it is a father and son problem. But, my brother, if the wife and husband issue, from what they told us in my common environment, exceeds the private room to the parlor, it has become a public discussion. It is no longer a husband
It is no longer a husband and wife matter. Okay.
Exactly. Now that the father and son issue has spilled over and resulted to almost halting economic and other social issues in our state capital for more than 2 days because people blocked the road. There were protests. People were not able to access their work areas, and a lot of other, unpalatable experiences in that protest and in that crisis. It is no longer something we would say is father and son. They would have settled it as they used to do at the Romo Precon. Okay. But now, it is an issue that is bordering on the entirety of the river of the state. Because we are the electorate and we empowered the governor. Sorry to say, we voted for him and he became the governor. And we expected that he is supposed to be responsive to the citizens of this state. He's supposed to be answerable to us.
Right.
And whatever happens between his father and his whatever, political whatever, that is not brought to the panel.
Okay.
The panel here is the panel. And we will not be interested.
Right.
The matter is here. Let me call on Fubara. Let him not resolve this with his father without knowing that River State People suffer so much
All right.
for what happened that
All right,
day.
all right.
And they
Therefore,
stood by him.
I've got to go. I've got to go. Thank you very much. I get your point. I've got to go. John from Port Harcourt, welcome on the show. Welcome. What is on your mind, please? Tell me.
Yes, I want to talk about the issue of the redeployment.
Okay, let's hear
Yes,
it.
the redeployment is a welcome development.
Oh, interesting.
You see, if you listen to the pieces of information coming, you will discover that those commanders and CSO are one of the challenges that the problem the current governor is having with the previous one.
Okay.
So now that they have been redeployed, it is a welcome development, whether anybody like it or not.
Okay.
So we are also urging the governors to do the needful in terms of what appointed and remove all the so-called structures.
Okay.
People that are, that will work with him peacefully without any rancor.
Okay.
That is what we are saying.
All right.
Every governor should have his own people that are neutral, not people to be, serving as a spy to you, to others. So we want the governor to be a man of his own and employ people that will work with him, not people bringing people that will work with him.
All right.
That is not how governance is done.
All right. All right.
So
Thank you.
it's a welcome development, whether they like it or not.
Okay.
They are happy about that. At least there will be peace in government house.
Okay.
And the governor should be very careful. That is just all we say. Just be very careful. Let him not trust anyone.
All right. All right. Then. All right. Thank you very much. Trust no one, John says. Be careful, he also says. And, be a man. Everybody keeps saying that. I mean, it's easy to say. If it was that easy, everybody will be governor, right? Canada Police is up to something untoward. Nigeria Police is a federal entity. As such, the former CSO and others should have been redeployed to another state. Nigeria is a funny country. Pastor Vincent with that one. Hello, Canada. The whole saga is a script between the two gladiators to know who their enemies in the state are. Kel has a very wonderful conspiracy theory there. In my days of conspiracy theory, I probably could have written that. Yeah, where two of them are fighting just to know who and who's, genuine and not, who and who is fake and genuine. So, Kel, you do have a point, but I wonder if that really is the case. I really do. But let's see this one. This one says, man of the people, greetings. The redeployment of security attached to Governor Fubara is long overdue. Thank God, ability. Why do you keep sending? I think I've read that. I've read your message, but then you said the continuous changing of commissioners of police whenever there is election in a state is not a welcome development, because the new commissioner of police will be taking directive from the police PRO and order senior police officers who have been on ground. How many days will it take the new commissioner of police to settle down and supervise the election? From Tangod Ability at Wig. All right, thank you very much for that one. Bakata from Ozwa community says, good day, man of the people. I think the UK-US travel ban on their people not to come into River State is not far from the crime wave politics our people normally display each time. I don't get that, but I think I understand you. You're talking about the political saga and drama, and it looks like this place is a violent place. Okay. This is people always use fire on when referring to a relationship with the former governor and the governor. Consistent use of these has made the governor forget his executive powers and been acting as a son. But he's the one who said it. He said it himself. It's a father and son affair. But anyways, you said the governor should leave up, even if he is the ballot, like Bush family's case in U.S. George Bush never behaved like a child when he assumed the leadership position. Please, we should stop using father and son to describe their relationship. Regards, you said, but it's not our fault. He came out and he said that it's a father and son disagreement and that they will settle it in the house. Kingsley from Ojo, the European countries that are returning Abacha's loot are part of our problem. They use the Abacha loots for so many years and return them without interest for our government to reloot. Okay, I hear. I mean, that was Friday news that France is going to release another batch of a batcher's loot. A batcher must have stolen the whole of Nigeria, for goodness sake. But I've got Fine Mind from Artillery. Welcome on the show. Fine Mind, welcome. Welcome, Fine Mind. Let's talk.
Yeah, I want to speak first of all on the redeployment of the chief security officer, the policeman that is in charge of security.
Okay.
The government has. It is something that is long overdue, and I wonder why persons are actually angry over it.
Okay.
The governor has the right to choose who serve as the chief security officer around him.
Okay.
And what happened, last week is a clear indication that he has a lot of people that are actually his enemies as a security, and it's very dangerous. Most of our security officers are just politicians in uniform.
Okay.
They are just there to do the bidding of the highest bidder politically. And it's very dangerous for you to have such a person. And based on what I've heard so far, this man has been in this state for a very long time, since 2019.
Yeah, something like that.
Why is he not redeployed out of the state? Because whether you like it or not, he has some level of influence over the police officers. And he may still influence some police officers against the governor. So if I were to be the governor, I would have, like that he's deployed out of the state.
But he's no matter how big he is, he's not bigger than the commissioner of police. So does that allay your fears?
Hello?
I said no matter how big and how influential he is, he's not bigger than the commissioner of police.
Whether we like it or not, he's the chief security of the state.
Okay.
The chief security officer of the state. And he has some level of influence as well. He has a say in who comes as the commissioner of police and also who works in the River State Police Command. So I am not comfortable with that part given in this state. For him to have allowed what transpired on Monday to happen is a clear indication that he's also is partisan.
Okay. All right.
Security officers are not supposed to be.
All right. Find my
police officers that are actually.
All right.
Non-political.
Fine Mind, I've got to go. Thank you very much. Think I get your point. Ibiso from Audley Road. Ibiso, welcome on the show. Let's get your thoughts,
good
please.
Afternoon.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon.
Okay, my take of redeploying the CSU of the governor and putting it in another unit in River State. Why River State? This man has been in River State, served the former governor, now serving this current governor, the chief security officer. They are changing him. They should take him to another state. Because him still being here, it's like me accusing you Canada of something, and they still keep you in the state here.
But Ibiso,
River State in Nigeria.
Ibiso,
we in another state, then you go and serve in another state.
Ibiso, we always argue that it's a good thing if police officers know the terrain. We always argue it's a good thing if
this terrain. Yeah. This is not terrain. I mean, River State, when Aki Fakrode was here, the governor of River State, the former governor, was complaining about Aki Fakrode. And at the end of the day, they transfer Aki Fakrode out of River State.
Okay.
So, which terrain? Why are we talking about terrain? Canada, you work with Today FM. Now you go to Nigeria Info. Must they keep you in the same place to know terrain? Go and know the terrain in another place.
Okay. All right.
You understand?
All right.
Nothing like terrain inside this one.
Okay.
Remove these people that are not comfortable with the governor here to after their federal workers. It's only River State, the state that they are supposed to serve.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibiso. I've got to move on now, but thank you very much. I've noted your worry. Muriel from Okrika. Muriel, greetings. Welcome on the show. What is on your mind?
Canada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you.
Are you okay? You don't sound gingered like we say in our local parlance. Are you good?
I'm okay.
Welcome on the show then. All right then.
Thank you. Yeah, Canada. I heard the governor talked and was shouting about him that he has become political or something like that. That was when I knew no, they can't work together. So I think they should shift things. Because at the end of the day, if they can't work together, trust me, it is the river people that will suffer it.
Okay.
And Canada, about the governor and the minister, look, Canada, you see the kind of support the governor is getting from the youth, from elders, from the river people. I want to call on the governor of Canada to handle this very, very carefully.
Okay.
About the one that when I heard the picture of him going to kneel down,
they say that is fake. They say that is fake.
Speak Canada. Hello.
They say that is fake, an old picture.
Yes, okay. I was so happy when I heard it, Canada. Look, the governor has to handle it carefully.
All right.
If he does not handle this with all wisdom, and if nobody is saying they should not settle any matter. He and his maybe the father and son, all those things. But I keep asking when is the father and son, that's first. But matter how they should agree, they should do anything together. But Canada is not handle it very well, and he goes back on his knee. And Rivers people turn their backs. So he cannot have us back. He cannot gather them back again. So I think I call him to handle this with all wisdom and stand firm.
Okay.
Thank you, Kalaba.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Muriel. And do stay tuned because we have interesting conversations coming your way. It's almost time for the next commercial break. How long is that commercial break? Let me check so I know if I'll come back and take some more calls. Okay. I'll come back and take some more calls after the commercial break. It's just a 30 seconds commercial. So when I'm back, we'll talk some more. Just stay tuned. You can start dropping your messages. The WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416. Drop your messages. You and I will have a fun conversation before the top of the hour. At least I can be able to take one or two more calls, and we'll wrap things up when it is 4 o'clock for the business news, right? So just stay tuned. I am Kala Dakaru Batubo. You can also follow me on social media. I know we could argue some more, politics online. Dekalada, TheKalada. Good afternoon. Stay tuned.